You've been exhausted for years, and it has nothing to do with your schedule. It's the judgment, the constant, invisible trial you're running in your head against everyone, including yourself. I want to start there because most of us have been quietly wondering what's wrong with us. We sleep, and we're still tired. We take the vacation, and by day 3 the fog is back. We say no to the extra project. We drink the water. We do the meditation app, and still, there's this bone-level fatigue that no lifestyle change actually touches. Here's what this is really about. It isn't your workload, and it isn't your personality. What we're going to look at together is that judgment, not difficulty, not other people, not circumstance, is the source of our deepest exhaustion and loss of peace. Every time we judge something, we're quietly claiming we have the authority to decide what reality is. And that claim puts us in a perpetual, low-grade war with everything in front of us. The good news, and it is genuinely good news, is that there's a way to meet life without a verdict. And in that space, something close to actual rest becomes possible. So let me give you the picture I want you to hold. Imagine you've been appointed judge of a courtroom that never closes. No recesses. No weekends. No end to the docket. Every email, every glance from a coworker, every awkward thing you said in 2019, every version of yourself you've ever been, all of it gets filed, called to the stand, examined. The gavel never leaves your hand. That's not strength. That's not intelligence. That's not being conscientious. That's the source of the exhaustion most of us carry around and can't explain to our doctor. Let me make it concrete. It's Tuesday morning. Someone on your team sends a reply that's 2 words long. Sounds fine. You read it once. Then again. And your mind convenes court. Is she annoyed? Did I do something? No. She's always kind of like this. Actually, is she a little dismissive? Should I say something? Should I not say something? By the time you pour your second coffee, you've written a verdict, assigned a sentence, drafted an appeal, and started building the case for the next hearing. And it's 8:47 in the morning. The day hasn't started, and you're already tired. Notice, you didn't lift anything. You didn't run. You didn't have a hard conversation. You judged 2 words. And it drained you. Multiply that by every interaction, every memory, every mirror, every scroll, and you start to see the shape of the tiredness. Here's the part that took me a long time to understand. We think judgment protects us. We think if we can just sort things quickly enough, good, bad, safe, unsafe, worthy, unworthy, we'll stay ahead of pain. Judgment feels like competence. It feels like clarity. It feels like being awake. But watch what actually happens. The moment you judged that email as dismissive, you didn't move past it. You moved into it. It's been living in your head for 3 hours. You've rehearsed it in the shower. You'll bring it home. The thing you rejected didn't leave, it moved in. This is the twist. Whatever we judge, we're bound to. Because to judge something, we first have to hold it up, examine it, decide against it, and that whole process embeds it. Judgment doesn't get rid of anything. It curates a private museum of everything we've ever found wanting, and then wonders why the rooms feel so crowded. And here's the quieter version. The harshest judge in that courtroom isn't the one you turn on your coworker. It's the one you turn on yourself. Because if you're willing to convict her over 2 words, imagine what you're doing to yourself all day long. The email you sent that no one responded to, the way you looked in that photo, the version of you at 27 who should have known better. That courtroom has one permanent defendant, and it's you. So why do we keep doing it? Why hold on to something so exhausting? Because underneath judgment is a quiet, almost invisible belief that reality is ours to sort. That we've been appointed, by intelligence, by experience, by pain, to decide what's acceptable and what isn't. What people should be. What we should be. How the day should have gone. And here's where the reframe lands. We were never actually appointed to that bench. I don't mean that in a small way. I mean the entire premise of the courtroom is imagined. Nobody handed us the gavel. We picked it up at some point when we were young and scared, because it felt like the only way to be safe in a world we couldn't control. And we've been holding it so long we forgot it was ever a choice. When you try to be the author of reality, when you decide it's your job to determine what's worthy, you enter a fight you cannot win. Because reality doesn't need your ruling. It's already what it is. Every verdict you issue is a small argument with what already exists. And arguments with what already exists are, it turns out, extremely tiring. Here is what actually shifts when you notice this. You're reading the email, sounds fine, and just for a second, you catch the machinery starting up. The convening. The examining. And instead of following it, you notice it. You think, oh, there it is. The courtroom is opening again, and something almost funny happens. You don't have to attend. You don't have to preside. You can put the gavel down, not with drama, not with some big spiritual gesture, just set it down and let the email be 2 words on a screen. Maybe she was busy. Maybe she wasn't. Maybe you'll never know, and you don't need to know, because you're not the judge of this. The first time you do this, you'll notice something strange in your chest. A softening. A little more room to breathe. That's not a coincidence. That's what your nervous system feels like when it's not being asked to prosecute the entire world before lunch. This isn't about becoming passive. You still make decisions. You still notice what's true. You still act, sometimes strongly. But there's a difference between clear seeing and constant sentencing. Clear seeing is light. Sentencing is heavy. You can tell them apart by how you feel afterward. So what does an ordinary day look like without the constant trial? It looks like reading a text and not writing a case around it. Passing a mirror and not filing charges. Remembering something from years ago and letting it be a memory instead of evidence. It looks like being with people, your partner, your kid, your coworker, the person at the register, and not silently ranking them. Not silently ranking yourself against them. And the tiredness, the one that felt like a personality trait, The one you assumed was just what being an adult felt like, quietly starts to lift. Not because your life got easier, because you stopped adding a second, invisible workday of judgment on top of your actual one. You were never appointed to that bench. You can leave whenever you want, and what's on the other side of the courthouse door isn't chaos or naivety, it's just a life you're allowed to be in without deciding whether it deserves to exist. That's what we're going to sit with next. Not as an idea, as a felt thing. Let's take a few minutes and actually put the gavel down together. If you're finding value here, you're welcome to like the video and subscribe. And now, let's shift into a quiet guided meditation together. Let's take a few minutes here together. Find a way to sit or lean back that lets your body actually settle. Not perfect posture. Just honest comfort. Let your shoulders drop a little further than they want to. And take one breath in. Slow. Through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Unhurried. Another one. Slower this time. Notice where you are. The chair beneath you. The light in the room. The small sounds around you. You don't have to do anything with them. Just let them be there. Now bring your attention gently to the space behind your eyes. The place where the thinking happens. And notice, is court in session right now. Maybe there's a case being made about how this meditation is going. Or something from earlier today. Or someone you're going to see later. You don't have to stop it. Just notice it's there, and imagine, just for a moment, setting the gavel down. Not throwing it. Not making a big decision, just resting it on the desk beside you. Feel what that's like. No verdict needed here. Not on the day. Not on yourself. Not on the person who sent the 2-word email. Not on the version of you from earlier this morning. Everything gets to just be what it is. Breathe. Feel how much lighter your chest is when you're not holding court. This is what your body has been asking for. Not more sleep. This. Stay here as long as you'd like. And when you're ready, know that you can come back to this moment anytime today. In a meeting. At a red light. Between emails. You can set the gavel down whenever you remember. Take one more slow breath, and gently, when you're ready, come back. Thank you for practicing with us today. If you'd like, there's a free digital copy of A Course in Miracles available through the link in the description. You're also welcome to leave a simple comment such as, "I am grateful. Thank you for sitting with me today. Whatever brought you here, I'm glad you stayed." Be gentle with yourself as you move back into the rest of your day. You don't have to earn your rest. And you don't have to keep prosecuting your own life. It's enough to just set the gavel down. Again and again. Whenever you remember. I'll see you soon.